Hey folks, and welcome to Subjective Thoughts. And our comic for today is Hellboy, the Silver Lantern Club, Issue 1 by Dark Horse Comics. Now there are demons and exorcisms in this one, so if you are in any way squeamish, you have been warned. Also, spoilers. Alright. Alright, first the names are all inside here, so knock yourselves out. So the story is by Mike Manola and Chris Robinson. And here are the rest of the people. Looks like several different people did the art on different pages here, as you can see. There we go. Hopefully that'll be steady enough and you can see. Ooh, sweaty fingers. Bloody Israeli heat. Alright, there we go. Hopefully that turned out well. If not, don't worry, I'll leave a picture up here, just in case. Alright, is that everything? Yeah, I guess said everything. Alright, so this is a new Hellboy story that came out not too long ago. And it does take time for the comics to arrive in Israel. But anyway, now this is a new story. And I really enjoyed this one. Well, to be fair, I enjoyed all of the Hellboy stories I've read so far. But still. Alright, so we start our story with Hellboy and the Professor. It's, I think it's 1953. They're in London. And they're going to visit the Professor's uncle, Simon. And I gotta pronounce the Professor's surname. I still need to work on it. It's a hard one. It's supposed to sound like broom, I think, I was told. But anyway, we'll leave it for now. And so they're going to meet his uncle in a pub called Monk's Head. If you can see here, there's a picture of it. And yeah, there's the sign right there. There we go. Now over here, this. They go in, and they meet his uncle. But before they come in, though, the Professor said, I can't believe we haven't done this sooner. I was wondering, what are they going to do? Hellboy's going to, well, the Professor is essentially Hellboy's dad, so he's going to meet a family member. Ooh, a grand-uncle? I don't know. We'll leave that. So they go in, his uncle tells the Professor, why have you come visit earlier? You've been running around with your other friend doing PPRD stuff. The Professor apologizes, and his uncle's like, come on, sit down. If you order around, I'll tell you, stories about my time when I was young. And that's what he does. He tells us about... So, his uncle, Simon, has belonged to the Silver Lantern Club. Suppose it's kind of like the BPRD. There was this group, you can see photos of them in the pub. They would come there often. Men and women who would go and help with supernatural things like exorcisms. They haven't gotten too much into detail here about them, but I think that's essentially what they did. Kind of like the BPRD, but maybe a lot smaller. Yes, so he starts to tell them about one of their adventures. When he was young, he went to see a demonstration for a new way to communicate through... just a second, what was it? What was the name for it? There we go. Through a transmission with a gramophone. So you got these two inventors performing a demonstration. Young Simon is among them. He's with everyone else taking notes. And so, at 10 o'clock sharp, they start the demonstration. Their colleague in another room is going to start speaking. But what comes out is not their colleague. It's some sort of strange voice saying things that are unclear. Very odd. And the inventors are like, what the hell's going on? So after this demonstration, Simon goes to the monk's head to meet all his colleagues. They're all sitting there. Two of his colleagues, Eddie and Edward Gray. Hi, Mr. Gray, if you watch this. Yeah, so we have Edward Gray and Sarah Jewell. Yeah, Sarah. Two of his colleagues. Oh, that's actually Sir Edward Gray right there in the picture. Right here. And they're complaining about an exorcism. Well, he's complaining mainly about their exorcism that hadn't gone right. They managed to remove a demon, but not send it back to hell. And also, Sir Edward's saying, it's this society. A society it looks like he complains about often, and his colleagues make fun of him for it. So he complains about that, and then Simon starts to tell him about the demonstration, about the voice he heard. They heard through the gramophone. And then Sarah and Sir Edward are like, wait, what time did that happen? They realized that that's where their demon went. So both of them earlier that day went to a nice old lady who's been possessed and performed an exorcism. But their demon escaped before they could send them back to hell. Sir Edward's been very butthurt about it. And now they're like, they look at each other and like, you think? So they drag Simon out and like, you have to take us to where the demonstration was. After telling him what hour, what time. As he tells them what one of the words the demon said, the voice in the gramophone said. So they all run to where the demonstration was performed. They come and see the professors, the inventors, who seem pretty chill about the whole thing. They're like, we're gonna check your thing, everyone take some distance. Sarah and Edward approach the invention. Meanwhile, Simon's questioning them about, how did they plug all this thing to electricity. Mind you, this is the 50s. Yeah, it's 19. So, they're starting to perform the exorcism ritual that they performed earlier that day. Sarah again suggests, like earlier, that they should perform another ritual that a friend of hers did. So they start with Edward's ritual. It involves a candle, a bell, and a book. Now that doesn't work. The demon starts to overpower them. Meanwhile, Simon's still questioning about electricity. So then they try Sarah's method, her friend's method. But that doesn't work either. The demon is getting stronger, and if he completely becomes strong and not tangible. Anyway, when he reaches full power, they're gonna have a apocalypse on them. They all know what to do. The demon's about to attack them, but then poof, disappears. And they're both standing there like, what the hell happened? And then they turn, and Simon's standing there with a plug in his hand. And he tells them, say, doesn't a demon need a live host to possess a live host in order to, gain power? So that's why he was questioning them. If if the host the demon has isn't alive, it's not gonna work well. So, a simple yet brilliant solution. So yes, he manages to defeat the demon for them. Looks like after that just sends it back to hell. So maybe the ritual Edward and Sarah did worked, but because the body still had electricity, Because the inventors couldn't figure out what happened to their invention. They were trying to figure out where the noise and everything was coming from. So they went to check. They turned off the device, but they didn't unplug it from the electricity. Now back in the in the monk's head, Simon tells them all the story. Sir Edward's still not happy. Obviously, still think it's that society that's behind this. I'll leave the name of the society here on screen. I don't want to look now. It's bloody hot and my fingers are fucking sweaty. And then, they all raise their glasses to Simon, though he says, I don't think they fully understood what I did. And then we go back to present day with Hellboy and the professor listening to the story. And, he tells them that was one of my adventures. And Hellboy asks, so you defeated a demon by pulling a plug. I love Hellboy. That's probably what I would have asked too, though. And the professor starts telling Hellboy, it's not as simple as that. It's actually apparently harder to remove demons from inanimate objects than it is from living people. Which is interesting. I thought it'd be the opposite. But then again, I'm not an expert in supernatural. So I'll take the professor's word on this one. And then his Uncle Simon starts to say, did I tell you about the time me and Sergeant... There's an Indian sergeant with them in the Silver Lantern Club. I think his surname is Singh, maybe? I'm not sure, though. Did I ever tell you about the time, we fought an object that was possessed by a demon? And there was also this marionette that was possessed by a demon. And Hellboy's like a possessed puppet. And again, Simon says, if you order another round, I will tell you about that. And the professor turns again to the barman like he did in the beginning and says, barman, another round. And that's where the story ends. All right, I'll get to the art first before the conclusion. Right, so there's the art. I can't show too much though because it's a new comic. The art style's pretty good. I like it. It's not bad, but in some places it's really awful. Like here, like their faces should be more detailed, even though they're at a distance. But they're not particularly detailed, and there we go. There's that's all I can show you. There's a photo of the Silver Lantern Club over there. That's his uncle nowadays. That's some of Hellboy and the Professor's adventures before arriving. There you see. There he shows, like, here's their picture he's pointing at it. See, the art style's pretty good. The coloring also fits the mood very well. But again, in some places, the art in my eyes looks really bad. It could be far more detailed than it is. I don't know. Maybe that's just how the style works. But I wish there was more detail in those places. I get it if something's very far from you. Yes, it's going to be less detailed. Makes sense. But still, in some of these instances, it's pretty close. The details should be far better than they are. But overall, it's not a bad art style. But still, I think it could have looked better. Alright, now for the story. So I love this story. It was so interesting to see. Oh, first of all, I didn't know. This is recent, so I guess they gave the professor an uncle. But his adventures are very interesting. I definitely look forward to read more. I'm glad this is a series and not a one-shot. But I do wonder if this is going to be, the whole series is going to be just us sitting in the pub, listening to Uncle Simon's stories. If it's all going to happen there, or are they going to move somewhere else eventually? And also, the Silver Lantern Club sounds interesting. I wonder if they were like the BPRD before there was a BPRD. I don't know. I mean, I think at this point Simon's very old. And he talks about the old days, so I wonder. Obviously, we don't meet anyone else from the club, so I wonder if they're all dead. And maybe Simon's one of the few left. And then they later branch into the BPRD, because, well, obviously at this point there is a BPRD. Hellboy and the Professor are a part of it. So I wonder. Well, Simon obviously knows about what the Professor's been doing, so he's in the know. Well, it's always something very interesting to find out later. I don't know how many issues this series is supposed to have. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a mini-series. Normally Hellboy's series aren't that long from what I've seen. Anyway, overall good story, very interesting. I look forward to see what happens next with this one. Are we going to see more of the adventures? Is it all going to be in this pub? Is Simon going to die of alcohol poisoning? I hope not. Alright, so that is it. Let me know if you've read this one, folks, and what did you think about it. And, trying to think what else. It's been a while since I did a thoughts video. Yeah. Oh, yeah, the cover's nice. I guess not bad. Maybe perhaps a little bit too messy, but I still like it. I thought at first that might be Simon before they showed how he looked in the past. Yeah, they stuck poor Sir Edward here. Alright. Well, that is it, folks. Remember, collect what you're passionate about and share it on YouTube. Bye!